What is going on, you guys? I'm back, and we are going to do my top figures of the year. Let me just say, 2026 or five has been kind of a roller coaster of a year for me. I've had my ups, I've had my downs. Definitely one of my highlights of the year was obviously my house that we were able to get this year. We've been here since April, mid-April. So, very happy to have got my house so I can do all this. But in terms of the economics, that's all been very. I'm not diving into that because that's not this kind of channel. But yeah. So I've got 10 Studio Series figures, 10 Generations figures, and then a few honorable mentions. Let's get the honorable mentions out of the way. So honorable mentions. First, we've got the APC Toys Prime Optimus and Bulkhead. Astonishing recreations of two of the most well-made Hasbro figures of all time. For a show that's almost, 15 years old. These two have got to be some of the best designs Hasbro's ever made. Yeah, they lack a lot of well, actually, no, he pretty much packs the same articulation as a lot of modern figures. He could use some new articulation, like some ankles, waist, and all that, but these two were extremely well made. And then, since these are the knockoff versions, they include the two, or the various upgrade kits that came with them. These guys are overall awesome, outside of the loose wrecking balls on this figure. So, let me grab that. But, yeah, those are one of the first set of honorable mentions. The APC Toys Prime and Bulkhead. Next, I was gonna put this in the main count up, but I limited myself to 10 figures a series, and this is not a ranking from best to worst. I don't have a best to worst for this year. It's just all of my favorite figures of the year. Retro Sea Spray with my Toy Hacks logo on him, but this is awesome. Sea Spray was one of the cooler mini bots from season 2. I love the colors. I love the whole he's a boat. And the whole he talks like this kind of thing. I'm still waiting on somebody to make an upgraded cartoon head. Otherwise, like I said in the review, I'm not buying another version of this figure down the road. If they do a toon version, waiting on an upgrade kit. That's it. So, yeah, Sea Spray is a really good figure. Who else is on my... Oh, I didn't grab them off the shelf. Yeah, I was forgetting somebody. Next honorable mention. Age of the Primes Animated Waspinator, or just Wasp in this form. Yeah, it's a repaint of the animated Bumblebee, but finally this character's done justice. His original toy got canceled during animated. It's just like, this is so cool to finally have this version of the character. Because I think this is one of the better non-G1 Bumblebees they've made. Like, this perfectly represents Transformers animated Bumblebee's design. But, yeah. He was this close to making the list, the main list, but his forearms still hurt him. Age of the Primes Vortex. And yes, I painted the gun. This guy is an awesome figure, do not get me wrong, but these helicopter pieces on his arms, I mean, yes, I could take them off, but I'm not a person that likes taking things off and leaving them off of a figure. That is not my cup of tea. Vortex is still just an awesome figure. I wish they would have designed his arms a little differently. But yeah. Last two honorable mentions. These were gonna make the main list, but they didn't. San Diego Comic-Con, Void Rivals, Skyfire. One, just very happy to have the Siege Jetfire mold. And two, and in cartoon colors, come on. Now that I'm reading the Skybound comics, I'm watching Transformer content creators who review the comics. I'm cheating in a way, I am cheating. There is no way I am cheating. It doesn't change my experience of wanting to read the comics, so I'm waiting on the second volume of the compendium to come out, so I can just buy issues 1 through 20, I think 5 or 6, in 2 big books before I continue, or do I do any comic stuff? So, just very awesome to have a nice cartoon Jetfire. And then finally for honorable mentions, hold on, let me make sure that's all of them. Yeah. Gen Select Stripticon. I wanted this guy when he first came out during Titan's Return 8 years ago. But with the hip problem that figure was notorious for, I decided against it. Well, that, and I had no way of buying it at the time. This thing was like, what? $140-$50 back then. I don't remember, but I'm happy to have him now. I paid, what did I pay? $200. Very nice big boy. Okay. Now let's get into the main stuff. We're gonna, again, there's no rank, or there's no order of anything here from best to worst. Just gotta figure out which order I'm going in. Let's start off with here. Studio Series 86, Devastator. Love this guy. Devastator, I was very much looking forward to getting the Constructicons, and Devastator does not disappoint. Outside of 2 problems. Hold on, no, it's on him, it's droopy arm here, and droopy arm there, and that gun. But I think DNA will fix some of this. I've already got the DNA set for Scrapper and Bone Crusher installed. I will be ordering soon the set for Long Haul. I do have the set for Scavenger and Hook on pre-order, and I've got the Devastator set on pre-order. But Devastator by himself right now, as is, perfect figure. Just like he overall poses great. Outside of the arms, he is an amazing figure. Nice. Hold on. Nice, clicky, clacky joints. Devastator is just an awesome figure. So, there's that. Pick up that gun. And then hop over to Age of the Primes. Onyx. Onyx is pure amazing. Just his whole design is so, what's the word for it? Fantasy. That's his whole thing is nice fantasy looking. He's got these nice big old beastie wings. I've got his mask collapsed currently. I know it's supposed to be like that, but I don't think that's right. I think it was just supposed to have his mouth halfway open. Nope, that was his wing. Robot mode is awesome. Beast mode's cool. Centaur. We have a freaking centaur. Or centaur. Got a freaking horseman as an alternate mode. Come on. That is so cool. He just overall is an awesome figure. And I'm very much happy to have picked him up this year. Now stand up. And don't fall backwards. And you fall. Okay. Next. Wait, no. Do a studio series thing. Volkswagen version 2 Bumblebee. Way better than the original release. Way better. Way more accurate looking to the movie. I mean, yes, you could still do concept art door wings if you want. But let's be real here. Nobody does that. Everybody leaves the doors down to be more accurate to the movie. But he just overall, this is a better looking attempt at this design. And I think with all of the Bumblebees that they released for the Studio Series Bumblebee line, how many was that? The original one, the Jeep, the Cybertronian buggy. They never did the actual Camaro. I'm surprised about that. Like, they didn't do the Camaro for based on how we looked at the end of the Bumblebee movie going into Rise of the Beasts. But I'm pretty sure we'll get that one eventually. This guy's really, really, really nice. And then, again, back to Age of the Primes. Horrible. I have customized his Headmaster a little bit to look more Master Force-like. Very nice to have the Autobot or Decepticon Headmaster Juniors complete. Yeah, we're getting a re-release of Fangry this year in 2026. That'll be very interesting. If it's not just a re-release of the multi-pack. I'm very happy to have this. He is the Skull Cruncher mold, so they did, like, you can see it's the Skull Cruncher mold, but they fixed a lot of problems with the Skull Cruncher mode. He can stand. He has ankles. He just overall looks really nice. I think he's still my favorite of the Con Headmaster Juniors. Yeah. But I'm hoping with them now complete, maybe we can get the Autobot Headmaster Juniors done. I know we got Minerva during Legacy, but we need a real Headmaster Minerva. I don't know. Moving on to Studio Series, we have another Bumblebee. The re-release of the Dark of the Moon Bee. I will still say of every version of this mold we've had, Movie 1, Movie 2, Movie 3, we're bound to get the Transformers The Last Night out of this design again. Why did they make the doors translucent plastic? The Rise of the Beasts Bumblebee mold, his doors were solid plastic with a window insert. Oh yeah, same thing with him. Door was translucent plastic attached to a solid plastic clip. So, I don't know. I love this figure. I'm very glad that they re-released this figure. Because after the door broke on my original copy, this guy was a little hard to get a hold of, but I'm very glad they did this one. Because I think this one brings nostalgia to me for Dark of the Moon. That's where I started my movie collecting, is during Dark of the Moon. And I had the Cyberfire Bumblebee in the original one. So to have this is nostalgia. And I'm absolutely in love with it still. So, that's Bumblebee. Now this one is 3-in-1. So I need to grab 3 of them. But it is the Dramatic Capture Triple Takeover set. Starscream is because it's the Earthrise Seeker mold, but Blitzwing is my favorite release of this mold from this set. I mean, you had the original Legacy Blitzwing, you had its re-release into Legacy United. No. He came out in Legacy, then came out in Legacy Evolution, and then here, and then he got re-released as what was that name? That generic, that gray, blue, and green one. I'm blanking on his name. But this is my favorite release of Blitzwing. I don't know what the 86 version is going to do. I mean, there's not much they can do. I'm pretty confident it's going to be, the 86 version is going to be this, still with his translucent Energon weapons. Just now done in solid plastic to match up with the 86 aesthetic. And maybe a lighter shade of purple to be Hasbro deems as cartoon accurate. And then same thing with Astro Train. As of right now, this isn't the accurate gray to the cartoon either. His gray should be more Siege Skywarp gray. This shade of purple, the red, the yellow. But this is still my favorite version of Astro Train. The original Siege one was too yellow looking. It looked like it yellowed right out of the box. But, and then this is the best looking colored Starscream we're going to get until we see what happens with the 86 2.0 later this year with the Target exclusive 40th anniversary subline. We've already seen Hot Rod. We've got descriptions of Optimus, so I'm pretty confident they might do that mold justice by maybe copying the color palette from this figure. But, yeah. The Triple Takeover pack is probably my favorite pack from the Dramatic Capture series. Moving on, we have... Where did he go? A-level Studio Series, B127. This dude, sorry, this guy is just probably the best looking Transformers 1 figure they've made so far. Second to Arachnid. B just looks great here. He's got his knife hands. He's got the blasters. I wish he was kind of in a more goldy color than he was in the movie. But overall, this guy just is amazing. Looks amazing. Poses great. Just overall, a great figure. So, then we've got Age of the Primes Blast Off. Oh, he is looking up right now to be my favorite deluxe armbot that we've had so far of the skeleton frame system. These browns are really, really nice. The purple looks... I hate Hasbro purple. This is one of the exceptions. One of the exceptions where Hasbro purple looks really nice. Blast Off, I think, is my... I don't know. Like I said, one of my favorite members of the whole frame system deluxe armbots. For Fireflight, Slingshot, Drag Strip, Dead End. Definitely better than Dead End. So, just Blast Off is really cool. And then, we got next. Another character from Transformers 1. Aelita. Probably my favorite, one of my few favorite deluxe fembots we've gotten all last year. Outside of these arm panels, best bike former we've ever got. And if you are careful enough and patient enough to do the thing where you pop these off of the 5mm pegs that they're attached to, yeah, you've got one of the best and the cleanest bike fembots ever made. So, Aelita was a well-made figure. I'm hoping they can take what they did here and learn from it to evolve it later into other bike fembots we've got coming down the road. Especially now that we're doing stuff from the comics. Looking at you, Skybound, Elita, IDW Chromia. So, Transformers 1 Elita. And then we've got the re-release of Siege Skywarp. I was so happy this came out. Of all the re-releases we got this year, like straight re-releases, Skywarp was at my top of got to get. I had Thundercracker, I had Starscream, I was like wanting this figure for so long. He sold out stupid quickly during Siege, and still sits up there as probably one of the most hard to obtain figures from the War for Cybertron series. Second to Greenlight. Greenlight still sits up there for some money. So either Hasbro needs to get on their re-release game on getting that figure back out, or do a new figure. Either or is fine. But Skywarp is just so good. Outside of the 86 Seeker mold, I don't own it yet. This is one of my favorite Seeker molds. So then we've got, where did she go? Right here. Studio Series, KSI Widow. I don't even know where to begin with this thing. I love this. We've got Transformers Prime Viacon engineering in her legs. I mean, we've got 4 layers of plastic that all curls up into her legs, and you still have decent leg articulation? Hasbro, please bring back this engineering and do some Transformers Prime Viacons. You guys would print money off of this thing with doing that. And just overall, her design and aesthetic look amazing. Had this became Stinger, I don't know. If this design went to full fruition and became Stinger, I don't know how I would have felt about Stinger being just a Bumblebee repaint. Well, in robot mode anyway, but yeah. But that's KSI Widow. And then Superion. Got to love Superion. Despite kibble all over the back of the legs, Superion is probably my favorite Autobot combiner. He poses nicely. His joints are a lot more sturdy than Menasor was, and still sturdier than Devastator. It's just, this guy is awesome. I was happy to get Slingshot, because during Combiner Wars, Slingshot was hard to come by. But, yeah, got to love Superion. Now, this is a 2-for-1. My next Studio Series thing is the Age of Extinction, Optimus, and the Last Knight Nemesis. Same mold, but these guys look amazing. Prime is already as good as he is. Then you make Nemesis, and Nemesis looks phenomenal. They switch up the light gray plastic to all this nice dark movie-accurate colors. You got the face sculpt, which looks fan-friggin-tastic. And then he's got the Knight Forearms, Hounds shotgun, which, where did he get that? How did he get it? I don't know. I don't care. This guy just overall looks amazing. This is how he is displayed on the shelf with the sword and the shotgun. We've got him all posed up for a charge or whatever. But these guys are just awesome. If you had to pick or choose, I would go with Nemesis over Optimus. But these guys, this mold is awesome, and they did a really good job fixing a lot of the tolerancy on this figure going into this figure. But yeah, let's put them back up here. Don't you fall. Moving on, we've got... speaking of re-releases, Earthrise Thrust with updated cartoon accurate paint apps on his face and the cockpit. The Coneheads, I think the Coneheads turned out pretty darn good for being the Earthrise Seeker mold. Yes, I still wish the null rays were not mounted to their shoulders like as the rest of the 86 Earthrise Seeker mold. But with them, I think it's fine. Thrust is an amazing piece to have just because it completes my Earthrise Coneheads, which have been sorely missing their leader. And I kind of hope we don't see the 86 Coneheads until at least next year or in 2028. But, yeah. I'm pretty confident by at least 28 we'll see them. But, yeah. Studio Series again, I have yet to review it, so Transformers 1 Arachnid. Man, does this figure pack a punch in how cool she looks. The only thing I don't like as of right now is her leg articulation, but I can get over it. No ankles because of these really skinny legs, but I don't care. Arachnid turned out awesome. I mean, these back spider leg turns out really nice. This makes me hope that we do see a new attempt at this character as Transformers Prime. So she could have her walking spider mode. I would kill for a proper walking spider mode. But Arachnid just... The only thing that I think really kills me about this figure is her height. She should have been a Voyager. They could have packed a little more into her as a Voyager, and she would have been taller than Sentinel, like she's supposed to be. This figure not only sits shorter than Sentinel, she's shorter than Alita. And she was probably the tallest character of the core cast. But it's whatever. Arachnid just turned out awesome. Cannot wait for you guys to get see the video. Moving on, we have got Age of the Primes, Alpha Trion. Despite the lack of wrists, probably the better Alpha Trion than the A Hero is Born version. He's got better articulation and he's got better kibble management. I've got the shield thing sitting back here in a way that I seen on I think either on Twitter or on Facebook. I don't remember, but until the DNA's that gets revealed. But he looks awesome. Probably one of the better Alpha Trions ever made. I'm hoping maybe they will make a proper older Alpha Trion out of this mold later. We'll see. But there's that. Working up to the last couple figures. I couldn't leave him out. I could not. I was going to save it for this year for 26, but 86 Soundwave. This guy turned out amazing. Probably one of the best, like I said in the review, the best G1 modern Soundwave we've ever had in terms of Generations collecting. And then, again, he came with Steeljaw, or Laserbeak, Ravage, and Buzzsaw. I've got little boy Ravage here just because I was messing with him again. Probably one of the better G1 Ravages we've ever had. Hold on. I know I pointed it out in my video for Soundwave. I know I pointed it out in the video for Soundwave. I do like the 86 cassette mold. Those guys just were not sitting right as my birds. So, sorry. If you want, you can take their thruster and plug it into the siege mold. And you've got a more cartoon accurate looking bird mode for the cassettes. And that's what I've done for both Buzzsaw and Laserbeak. I did paint their stomachs too. But these are the versions of them I display on my main shelf. I have them in their cassette modes with my Legacy Soundwave. I will go over shelf space in another video, but I want to show you guys the shelves eventually. But Soundwave is amazing. Just overall amazing. Moving on to the second to last Age of the Primes figure, Megatronus, the Fallen. This guy just they cooked with him. Probably one of the best figures of all the 13 primes. I love the multiple references attached to the figure. The weapon alone is robots in disguise. You've got the Requiem blaster from the Prime Wars, and then himself, the figure, is based on how he looked in the Dreamwave comics. His probably most notable design. This guy just overall is an amazing figure. And the fact that I thought that 86 Megatron was going to come out of this is crazy. It is crazy. Speaking of 86 Megatron with the upgraded Weekend Studios head sculpt. I gotta point that out. I have the head sculpt on here. 86 Megatron is an amazing figure. Just outside of this fusion cannon, I still don't like this fusion cannon. I was waiting for an official upgrade or a plastic fusion cannon to come out somewhere. I don't always like buying 3D printed stuff. But DNA's got me covered now that they've got a good set coming out. Cannon, the sword, the mace, the mind control helmet. And then you have the Weekend Studios head sculpt. Just, this is probably the best G1 cartoon Megatron we will ever see. In terms of generations. And I'm very happy that they finally did it. He just overall looks amazing, poses amazing. He's just one of the best modern Megatrons ever made. And then finally, Age of the Primes, Voyager Prima with the Dr. Wu Starsaber. I do have the DNA Starsaber on the way. Or on pre-order. I don't know why I bought it. It comes with the sword, the shield. I just wanted to have another crack at it. Or another weapon. But Prima is probably one of my favorite primes. I don't know why he's one of my favorite primes. He's the first prime ever made. He's the guy that gave the Matrix to Optimus. Or that birthed the lineage of the primes. He poses really awesome. He's even got, I got the one of the upgrade kits that was made for him. He was one of my first figures, and he's just awesome. I would love to see this figure come out again later as maybe the G1 version. Repaint this up in the G1 Toon colors and give him a shield and the lightsaber that he came with. But, yeah. But with that being said, that is pretty much my 2026 stuff in a nutshell, or 2025 stuff in a nutshell. I was going to limit this to 10 figures in total, but there were so many good figures this year, or last year. New year, I'm going to get used to the terminology. always do. There were so many good figures last year. There's so many more great figures coming out this year. We've got the 86 Secret Mold. We've got the rest of Age of the Primes. The debate, I'm hoping, will finally come to an end soon, because TFW is kind of driving me nuts with it. Nexus Prime. I am so sick to death of reading about Nexus Prime debate. When is he coming out? What is he going to look like? Is he Fun Pub or is he Covenant Primus? It's driving me nuts. I had to leave TFW for a whole day because I got so sick to death of reading about people speculating on Nexus. Same thing with Liege for a while. We don't know what his design is. Covenant, G2. I mean, we already have it kind of confirmed it's G2, so we've got a lot of good stuff looking forward to this year. We should be hearing more about the upcoming Skybound series we're getting, produced by the guys that produce Invincible. If that turns out as good as I hope, that'll probably be the second best Transformers media in recent times, second to Transformers Prime. Because Invincible is an amazing show. So if they can crack out a show that of the Transformers set in G1 continuity, or, well, not the original G1 continuity, but set in a G1 continuity, that's awesome. This year is going to be extremely Bayverse light, because this year is the 40th anniversary of G1, or the 86 movie. I think the only Bayverse stuff we're getting this year is Age of Extinction, Optimus, and Bumblebee. I'm trying to think. I know we've got. Hold on. Bayverse. Nope. AoE Grimlock, AoE Prime, AoE Bumblebee, and a repack of Rise of the Beast Scourge. Or I think that's one of next year's listings. I don't know. Very Bayverse light this year. But after next year, or after this year, we're going 86 light. So, yeah. Let me know what your guys' favorite figure of the year was. What was your biggest highlight in Transformers for the year? But other than that, yeah. Thanks for watching me all year. Continue. I hope you guys continue to watch me throughout this year. I'm going to try and do things a little different this year. Not by much, but I kind of want to implement the Kamen Rider thing more into my channel. Ever since I renamed the channel Dark Rider, I kind of don't do anything Kamen Rider. And with me religiously watching Zets right now, I want to review some Kamen Rider. I should have pre-ordered the stuff on Big Bad Toy Store when I had the chance, but because I am loving Zets. So, I'm hoping this year I'll do some more Kamen Rider stuff on the channel. We'll see. But thank you all for watching. I will see you all throughout the year. Later.